Hi, and welcome to my next vlog on past lives. I hope you enjoyed my last vlog on the law of attraction. So, this one is about reincarnation. Now, reincarnation is defined by the rebirth of a soul in another body. So, somewhere in your life, you've been a Roman emperor or an Egyptian queen or just a plain old person in the street. You've been everybody. You've been a king, you've been probably a murderer, you've been a vagabond, you've been a thief, because we have thousands of lives. You've lived and been on earth many, many times, thousands of times and too numerous to count, since the beginning of time. When we are back at home in the spirit world, some of us call it heaven, whatever you'd like to call it, we kind of sit with our guides and we draw up a plan as to what body and time that we will return back to Earth. And this is basically for us to learn our valuable lessons to enable our spiritual growth and our soul's evolution. Because it's all about learning lessons here. And people queue up to come, or spirits reportedly queue up to come back to Earth because we've got freedom of choice. And it is that freedom of choice that makes Earth a very good place to learn a lot of lessons. Now, this might sound a bit way out there, but our existence is not linear. We are also living in another dimension and another time, and we're living in an alternate life simultaneously. That's hard to get your head round, isn't it? But we perceive in 3D. That's all we can. But there's obviously other planets, advanced planets, that probably perceive things in 20D or more. Past lives or alternate lives are created by your soul so you can experience different times, places, and bodies. Before we come back and here, incarnate or born, we sit, as I said before, to discuss what lessons we want to learn, how we can, in order to progress our soul spiritually and to the next level. So if you've ever read the Bible, it says that God has many rooms in his house. This is likened to the levels and the progress to get through and get closer and closer to God or the light, whatever you want to call it. I say it because it's sexless, but we choose to call, here on earth, we choose to call God a male. So we're talking about our spiritual levels in the spirit world now. If you can imagine there's one big light, say like the sun. The light gives off rays, okay, like the sun gives off rays. And just like the sun's rays spread over millions of miles, horizontally, vertically, diagonally, whichever, imagine that we are part of those little rays, or part of those rays, a little part of the rays, and the sparks. The further away you are from the light, the harder you have to work, or the main source of light, the harder you have to work to get back to the progress back to the center of the light. The center of light is where we're all progressing to, in all our lives, in all our thousands of lives. Every single living person is part of that light. This is why you often hear that that we are all connected. We are all part of the Creator, and we're all made in God's likeness because we are a little bit of that light. Some religious views take the nuance and then choose to interpret it as they want. But when all is said and done, we are part of the light, God, and we strive to be with him, and we strive to have to never set foot on another planet or earth again, but to remain in spirit for eternity in the presence of its goodness. So knowing information about our past life can help us progress in this life that we lead on now, in this body. How? Well, quite often we're stuck. We make the same mistakes again and again. I don't know, you might always choose a partner that abuses you or is not very nice to you, something like that. And you cannot seem to get out of that sink. So you get put in a very small trance-like state, and um, we can then tap into what they call the Akashic records, and that's all the energies that you've created over all your thousands of past lives. And we can usually look at the mistakes that you've made, and we can usually we can usually correct them, which helps us progress. So we could look and see maybe that this is just an example, but maybe you'd abused your partner in a past life. So now you're getting the karma back, but you need to be able to break the pattern, blah de blah. So that's how, when we look at the Akashic records, we see exactly what you've done. So the therapist also then will use this time to heal and remove any stuck energy or an imprint that's holding you back. So I just spoke very quickly of karma. Karma is an energy that used to balance our lives. We live through them all. Often we have a top heavy energy, and this needs for it to be balanced. And this could present itself like an illness. By reading the Akashic records and healing, there is a potential there to alleviate the karma and put ourselves back on track in this life. So a lot of lives would not even come up in the Akashic records because we don't need to know all of our lives, but we do need to know the ones that maybe are holding us back. The relevant lifetimes that we've got a block or some stuck energy to heal the residue of relevant past life. So if you feel stuck, or you're having recurring problems that seem not to go your way, or if you've got an illness that's getting you down, then you may have past life issues. Have a past life reading and clearing. You can get that from me or other therapists that are around. You never know what may crop up and how you will feel afterwards, but I can bet that you will be feeling a lot better, and you can leave that particular part of the past life behind and move on with your soul's evolution. It will be like having a weight lifted off your shoulders. Anyway, I hope I've just given you a very small insight into past lives and past life healing and past life therapy. I hope you enjoyed this vlog and hope to speak to you next time. Bye bye.